26-20 is your score going into the third quarter. Some quick scoring here, unofficially, of course, as always. John Marshall had 13 points to lead the way for the Huskies of Herbert Hoover. Carter Coleman with 2, David Williams with 3, Clayton Needhams with 2, and Joey Forbes with 2. And then for the Skyhawks, the homestanding Skyhawks, Dave Ward with 4, Justin Harmon leading the way with 11, though. Marshall Tully with 0, but 2 fouls. Dolan with 2, and Jesse Belcher, who got fired up there late in the half, he had 7 there to round out the scoring for your Skyhawks. But Matt Dolan here set to take it out here for Scott. Right here in front of you, wearing a white jersey, getting ready to take it out to number 14. Directly in front of you, Jesse Belcher. So, and we're back under action now as they immediately try to get the ball down low to Harmon. And John Marshall has it, and he's going to push the ball up the floor for Hoover. Gives it over to number 42, Forbes. Now Williams has the ball. He gives it over to Marshall. Marshall giving up to Edens, fires up the 3, no good. And now Belcher with his eyes always fixed up the court like a true point guard would, looking for that easy basket.
Yeah, I really feel like he's got to be a bigger part in this team's offense in the second half, Tony, if they want to try to be successful.
He had that 1-3 there, and he was just off on the other ones. Scott having a slow night from behind a 3. But it was Dolan there connecting on his second basket. 28-20. First minute elapsed in the third quarter, so 7 minutes to go. And let's see what Scott can do here as Belcher's... Was Belcher guarding Marshall there in the first half? I don't think he was, because
I believe he was either.
Belcher's got the job of locking him down. So he's going to use a lot of effort there on the defensive end. See how he affects him on the offensive end. As Ward tried to get the ball down to Harmon, and Harmon couldn't handle it, and he's going to get charged with the foul. I believe that's going to be his third.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive.
Kingery's going to take a 30-second timeout, it seems. Actually, they're saying that's his first.
He's telling him right now he's absolutely, Tony, in their grill.
No.
I know, that's hard to believe, Jason.
But I tell you what, I guarantee his boys come ahead and respond. Well, can't guarantee that, but
they normally do, don't they?
I can't guarantee they're going to try.
Yeah, they normally do, though, Tony. We get a look at the cheerleaders. You're pumping up the pep squad over here, the cheering section.
Tell you, your coach doesn't always have to be your best friend, and I think Kingery would side with you on that one. He wants his players scared of him. He wants them to go out there, play. He don't want to yell at them. Coach ever wants to yell at his kids, but that's what you got to do to get him to play. He knows he gets the best out of them. He's had success doing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And here we're back here to the action. John Marshall gets it over to number 22 there. Carter Coleman, Edens was the one taking the 3, and he hits it.
That was pretty deep, Tony.
It was deep. That was nice range there by Edens, his first 3 of the night. 28-23, Scott up by 5. And Belcher finds Dolan. He's going to go into the paint. Right idea by Dolan. Harmon's going to go. Put back no good. Rebound's going to go to Marshall, and he's guarded by Marshall Tully. No good on the and one by Marshall. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Harmon's going to get a foul here. And I guess he does only have 2. I must have wrote someone else is down there in the first half. Whoops.
I'll tell you, that was a cheap one to pick up, Tony. The guy was already by him. Kind of just tried to use his height to his advantage, stuck his arm out there. Wasn't successful.
And this one was kind of a cheap one down here, so 2 quick fouls. He went the whole first half with 0. Picked up 2 tacky ones. And they were obvious fouls. They weren't bad calls at all. Big man's just got to have a little more discipline there.
That's right.
It's hard to get emotional. He's an emotional kid. I mean, he gets into it. All these Scott players do. I mean, they get fired up. You got to learn to keep them emotions in check and don't get touchy-grabby. And Tully poked it out of bounds there right into the hands of Harmon. And Harmon finishes.
That's a way to stay with the play. Fancy dribbling one, Tony.
It was. To no avail. Edens misses and finds Tully streaking up the floor. Misses the rebound. Dolan tried to come up with it right on the hip. Kingery not happy about Tully missing the layup there. 30-24. Scott still up by 6. Hoover has hit a 3, but other than that, that's been about it.
Man, Tony, how does Kingery keep his voice the next day?
I have no idea. Must be trained. Trained muscles. Offensive rebound there by 44. David Williams out to John Marshall. Pump fake. He's going to go in. Nice job of using the rim. That's an impressive shot there by Marshall. He knew Harmon was coming in on him, and he used the rim as a screen there. Nice job.
Yeah, he got some help off his buddy there. He was posting up, just turned, cleared a good-looking alley. Like you said, then he used the rim to keep the defender off of him. Good finish.
And Harmon started that one around the paint. Turnaround jump shot, no good. 30-26. Scott's lead now by 4. Now Hoover, maybe it's their turn to go on a run here.
Basketball's a game of just that, Tony. We talk about it all the time. Sustaining runs and being able to go on one.
John Marshall now over to David Williams. Back to Marshall. He's going to go to the lane. No good. Harmon had it knocked out of his hands there. Score remains 30-26 with 3:40 to go in the third. Belcher across the half-court line. Now we're to Dolan. Dolan's going to fire a 3. No good. And here we go the other way. Edens working on Belcher. He'll go up and score.
Once again, nobody stopped the ball for the Skyhawks. He was able to drive it all the way in the lane.
That just ain't going to work for Coach Kingery. And Ward finally getting a nice little home court bounce there and getting one to go through. He now has 6. 32-28, under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Scott up by 4, 2-possession game. 42, Joey Forbes had the lane. He just couldn't finish on the left-handed layup there. And here we go now with the Skyhawks back on the other end. Ward for 3. No good. Tully, offensive rebound, misses it all about. But Harmon, I think if Harmon doesn't touch that ball, the ref calls it the other way because he already had his fingers pointed, but they saw Harmon had that guilty conscience of going for it, and that must convince the ref.
Must have been that guilty smile because I don't know if I ever see that man upset. Anyway, you talk about him being emotional, that's about it. Any other time, he's happy-go-lucky.
Dave Ward coming out of the game here. On the floor for the Skyhawks, Nevin Honeycutt, number 33, 14 Belcher, 30 Marshall Tully, 20 Matt Dolan, and 45 Harmon. On the floor for the Huskies, number 44, David Williams, 42 Joey Forbes, number 12 Clayton Edens, number 40 John Marshall, who has 15, and number 22 Carter Coleman, the original starting 5. And now Hoover turns the ball over to Dolan. Honeycutt back to Dolan.
Let's see with Ward out of the game, Tony, where they go look to for scoring.
And that's going to bring Marshall Tully out, and checking in will be number 4 Ryan Honeycutt, a sophomore. Number 12 is going to be fouled. Edens. We're going to give that to Honeycutt. His first, coming right in the game and getting in the statistic book. The free throw is good by Edens.
Man, Tony, we talk about it all the time, not being able to put teams away, and they just keep chipping away, and they're right back in this ball game.
Yeah, they were down by as many as 8, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's down to 2. Big possession, believe it or not, here for the Skyhawks. You got to stop the bleeding. Thank you, Mr. Belcher. He connects on the 3, his second one. 35-30, pushing it back out to a 5-point lead for the Skyhawks there. 35-30. Again, is your score, as I just said, for the second time in a row. 35-30. Sorry, man, I had to go for 3 in a row. About a little over a minute to go here left in the third quarter.
As they take a full timeout, what do you tell your troops, Tony? Your kingery.
I say you got to keep the defensive pressure up, and got to keep forcing turnovers and take care of the ball in the offensive end. We're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to be right back. Well, actually, we'll keep it here. There's only about a minute left to go here in the third quarter. We've got to watch our clips. If you haven't noticed, folks, we normally go by 15-minute segments on all this here. So if you ever miss a play or a couple seconds of action, that is the reason.
Now, if you would go on the website and fill out go to the website, wvsportsnet.com, fill out the DVD request form, you can get tonight's broadcast full length, in high definition.
High def.
Yep.
Emphasize that.
Yeah, it does. It looks a lot better than probably what you're watching on YouTube right now. I know it looks a lot better, Tony. There's no maybe.
Yeah, I've seen it right there with you. You wouldn't even believe the difference, actually. So we're back here to the action.
I was just going to say, so if you're not a fan of watching at your computer, go on there, go on the website, fill out the request form. Tony or I'll get a hold of you within just a couple days, and we'll get you the DVD mailed out to your house.
It's that easy. And we're back here to the action. Minute 30 to go here in the third quarter. 35-30 is still your score. Harmon getting the offensive rebound there. Defensive rebound, excuse me. Now gives it over to Jesse Belcher, who brings it up the floor, going over to the right-hand side. Belcher firing up a 3. It looked good, but hit the front rim. And traveling out of bounds. Both 0 for 2 there was John Marshall on keeping the ball.
D, all the above, Tony.
When in doubt, go D. And I would not encourage students to take that strategy. It didn't work for me. ACT scores were subpar. Jesse Belcher over to Matthew Dolan. He fires a 3. No good. Rebound's going to go to John Marshall, and Belcher's going to get charged with the foul. And that's going to be Belcher's second.
Sloppy game, Tony.
35-30. I tell you, back-to-back ones here for Scott. You almost start to wonder if they played down to their competition. I don't know. That's a tough one to say. But, let's be honest. Everyone expected the Scott team to beat Chapmanville by more than 5 points without 2 starters and their head coach at Scott. And everyone was probably expecting this to be better, more than a 5-point game with Herbert Hoover again coming to Scott.
Right.
And here we have a turnover. Matthew Dolan finds Jesse Belcher. He'll go up with it and score.
Good-looking play. That's really the first good. They've looked that good in transition all night, Tony.
Ward not able to hang on the rebound, but it's swiped away. Jesse Belcher's always having his hands in there. 25 seconds. Dolan's going to go into the paint. The ball was still on the deck. Honeycutt's going to come up with it. No good. Harmon with the putback, no good. 15 seconds to go as Marshall came up with the rebound. He gives it over to number 14. Foul there on Honeycutt, and that'll be his first. Team's fifth. Herbert Hoover apparently incapable of committing a foul. 0 fouls in the whole third quarter. I always just found that hard to believe, that a team can go a whole quarter or a whole half without committing a foul.
Committing 0 team fouls.
Yeah, But here we're back to 5, 4, 3. Loses dribbles number 14. It's out number 52. Cody Morris misses the 3 as the end of the third quarter comes to a conclusion. 37-30 here on wvsportsnet.com.